Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Creations. Sorry about that. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Creations effects, tutorials, demos, and review. Today we have up the Laney Digbeth, which is an amazingly flexible preamp. So, right off to the back, you kind of heard that plus some other things. So I'm going to scale it back for you guys. What you were hearing was the Digbeth running into the Empress bass compressor and then running into one of my custom IRs that'll be available to you guys. It's actually an IR of a Jens Benz Neo X212 cabinet. And that's going to be available for you guys as well. So stay tuned for that. Check that out. Make sure you subscribe so you got have all my presets. You'll even be able to get my settings from my Laney Digbeth on the Tone X series pedals. Excuse me. So you'll have that, and then you can take the IRs and add them to it. So you got a couple different options there. But make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and share the video. So let's go. Let's dial it back. So let's take this compressor and the IR off. Let's just hear, and we'll take the preamp off for a second just so we can hear just my bass. So, bam, that's that. Kick on the Digbeth. Great, that's a nice sound there. That's actually, that exact setting is pretty much my main setting for it. And what I like to do, one of the main features I like on this pedal is I can set up my EQ like that. And instead of every room trying to adjust all of my, EQ setting I have for it, I can just use this tilt knob and I can get a brighter signal, and then it'll bring down the bass if the bass is too boomy in the room. And as well as if I go the opposite way, it'll cut the highs a little bit and accentuate the lows in rooms that the bottom needs to be accentuated. So, give you an example. So if I turn it towards the treble clef, gives you a much brighter sound. So it definitely brings down that bottom, But in the opposite direction towards the bass cliff, it cuts the highs and tilts it towards the lows. And just so you have a simulation of here's my IRs. Here's the this is what I call the NX 212, and this actually is my IR that I use a D6 and an SM57 on the tweeter. So I use the D6 on the speaker, bottom speaker, and SM57 on the tweeter. So as you can see, it allows you to just instantly change your EQ. To whatever tone, and when you tilt it to the brighter side, it kind of reminds me of a SWR head. That's what it really reminds me of with that. Because right now I'm running it with the tube side and the FET side. So that's also an additional feature that you have. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and stop and go through some of the features. I know I kind of been just playing through it, but I want to make sure you guys, as much as I explain, I want to make sure you guys can hear. That's more important. For real, for this video. But so you get a FET channel, which is a solid state style analog preamp, right? And then you have the tube emulation, which is more digital. So I actually have it set up so it's a little bit more effect than the tube. I'm running both of them at the same time. I have it on mix, and you can control whether you want to use them together or separately with the it's a switch, a toggle switch. This one right here. And so when it's toggled down, you can use this, switch back and forth. So here's just the FET channel by itself. And I'm gonna put the tilt back to the middle. So it's just like, it's just bypassed pretty much when it's in the middle. So I'm gonna turn it back there. But that is one of my favorite features with that. As well as you can get an additional, if you wanted to run this to the house and then still have your signal run to an amp, they also provide an additional link output right there on the side of it next to the active input. So on the side you get an active and a passive input, but next to it there's a link. You run that to your amp, and you can run this to the house, and then you can control each sound separately. That's pretty cool as well. While we at it, on the other side, you have an entire little yep, you got an entire little effects loop on the other side as well. Send and return. Then you got your output, and then on the back you have a XLR and all the switches for that: post, pre, lift, ground.